It's been an interesting day.
Where's my iPad?
Today we're going to be looking at Star Trek customizable card game, The Trouble with Tribbles. I've got a booster box here. I'm looking forward to opening. This is one of my favorite sets, to be honest. It also had pre-constructed decks. So, I'll show you a little bit about the set before we get cracking. Hi, Founder. Thanks for being here. This set was unique in a number of ways for the Star Trek customizable card game. For one thing, let's get this swapped. That's not swapped. There we go. For one thing, the booster packs had 6 different pictures on them. That was very unusual. Every other set in the game just had a single booster pack art. Now, to me, that's compensates a little bit for the fact that the booster box itself is just a bunch of hairy tribbles. There's nothing that really stands out to me in the design of that. But the variety of packs does make it a little bit more interesting. You also had the 2 starter decks. So, this set came out at an interesting time for the Star Trek collectible cards. Right. It came out at a fun time for the game and for Decipher as a whole. You had the first 3 sets that were based around Star Trek The Next Generation. This is having trouble focusing on all that at once, isn't it? I'll just move these up. That'll make it a little easier. Then the next set was based off of First Contact, the movie, so it had the same characters as Star Trek The Next Generation, plus it introduced the Borg faction. Then you had Deep Space Nine, which introduced, obviously, the Federation characters from Deep Space Nine, the show, as well as the new factions, the Bajorans and the Cardassians. That was followed by the Dominion, which same show base, but introduced the Dominion faction. Blaze of Glory came in next, which was very strong for the Klingons, but had a mix of the existing factions, and introduced some extra battle-based cards, the Battle Bridge, Door, etc. That was followed up with Rules of Acquisition, which is the most recent box we opened, and that introduced the Ferengi. That was one of the sets that I found most skippable. So it's easy to find still, I think largely because unless you were really interested in the Ferengi, not a lot of people were gunning for it, at least in my experience. However, when they got to Trouble with Tribbles, it's still based in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, as you can tell by the shape of the Star Trek logo. But they went back to the anniversary episode, which featured the original series. So this was their first time where they brought in the characters from the original series of Star Trek into the Star Trek collectible card game. Customizable card game, I guess, technically. I should use the right terms. So, now, for the first time, you had not only characters from Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine, but also the original series characters. This set draws almost entirely from the Trouble with Tribbles episode, where the Deep Space Nine characters went back in time to interact with that old classic episode from the original series. It also has some Balance of Terror stuff, especially for the Romulans, included. The following set, I think they were made in conjunction with each other because there's a lot of overlapping themes in terms of the mirror universe, and again, the same 2 Star Trek series are the focus. The Deep Space Nine characters and the original series characters. So this one, being a smaller set than the base set, and with 2 series to draw from, features a lot more main, bridge crew type people that you can pull out of a pack. So that's a great thing about it. It's hard to define the set, though. I was collecting this last year. I've got the packs there. And I managed, with the help of my brother and opening way too much. We did manage to get the set. I'm not going to go through the whole set. We're going to see most of these as we open them, hopefully. It did feature an ultra rare. So that's the Dr. McCoy here at the top. And this set released around the same time that the actor DeForest Kelley passed away. Hey, Founder. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so this card, I think originally Captain Kirk here was going to be the ultra rare for the set. He's a very strong character. He allows the Federation to initiate battle, which is a very handy ability for them since they can't do it normally. But they shifted the ultra rare to be Dr. McCoy in honor of the actor passing away at this time, I believe. And this is a very, very strong card. And its value is higher than anything we could have pulled from any of the boxes we've opened so far by quite a margin. Worth about double what the Future Enterprise is, I think, at least. So, definitely a very strong card dealing with medical issues. You started to see a little bit of power creep in this set. And the main criticism that comes out of this set is that you tend to open a lot of tribbles. Because they also came out with a tribbles card game at the same time, which uses the same cards that are in the set for the Star Trek card game as tribble cards. There's a few more that weren't in here, and then there's the tribble cards as well. And then, so you've got the tribble cards, not all of which you can pull from these packs, so they're sort of considered a separate set, at least the ones that aren't in here, for a separate game. Oh, what's good? Lots of things are good. Like I said, this is one of my favorite Star Trek sets, and I'm glad to share it. These starter decks contained a lot of reprint cards from previous sets. So, Admiral Shanti was from Premiere. Ogawa and McClure here, they're both from First Contact. This Scotty here is from Alternate Universe. We opened several of them because it was a common originally. But all the cards on this page, and many of the other ones from this deck, they altered the art. This was from Blaze of Glory. And you see they put little tribbles on the bathlet. They've got tribbles hiding in the background on most of these. So, behind on her chair, on her shoulder, he's holding one. Where'd they put it on? Oh, on the wall behind him. Yeah, there's a tribble behind the phaser. There's a tribble by the medical kit. They just put tribbles stuffed all over the art. Oh, there's one the tricorder's reading. For all these versions of these cards. So, if you're talking about the set, some people consider these part of the set, even though they originated from another set, but they got these different arts for the precons here. There's also versions of cards that didn't have any tribbles added, like the missions that were in those, which, because of the different print date, basically could be considered associated with this set instead as well. And there's, again, dilemmas, and yeah, lots of cards that got reprinted. They're pretty good, well-constructed little decks. These came out around the same time for anyone who's interested in the Star Wars customizable card game, as the Death Star 2 set came out for the Return of the Jedi section of that. And they follow basically the same format. A pre-constructed deck, draw cards from all previous sets. They give you a good sampling for how to play the game, and each one contained a card for this set. Well, in that case, Death Star 2, and in this case, Trouble with Tribbles. That is a card for the set, but you cannot pull out of packs. It has to come out of these starter decks. So, the Benjamin Sisko variant, and, oh shoot, what's his name? The Klingon captain here. Those are the two cards that you have to get from starter decks, basically, for this set. So they're a little bit tricky to find if you're trying to do things otherwise. But like I said, I recommend these decks if you're ever looking at just picking up something quick to learn how to play the game. These are pretty good. If you prefer deck building, I would still recommend getting either a box or a few starter decks of Premier and building out of that. It would be a better introduction to start where the game started. You don't have as many extra rules to take into account all at once. They come with a simplified rule book. But that's, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into all the ins and outs of going through the set itself. I will say I am looking to draw. Well, obviously everybody wants the ultra rare Dr. McCoy, but oh man, I need to find a way to fasten these. They fall all around. Uhura, I could use a second copy, so I don't have to pull it out of the binder for deck building. Same goes for Chekhov and the Starship Enterprise. Also, from the Romulans, the Centurion. Those 4 cards are ones that I'd love to pull an extra copy of. So, I suppose there's no time like the present. I've given a little description as to what the set was, when it was, and some of its significance. So let's...
Did you say hey to Dalton?
Hi, Dalton. Glad you're here. Oop. Oop, there we go, and we're open. Honestly, I've been looking at the similarities between this and the follow-up Mirror set. If you include the cards from the starter deck as part of a format with this and Trouble with Tribbles and Mirror sets, then you've basically got an interesting little format that I'm anxious to build some decks for and try. I think it'll work fairly well with matching themes. I love the original series stuff myself, so that's part of it. And there's a couple of cards you could throw in just to make things a little bit more playable. A Romulan outpost, the Klingon Federation, you should get one in here for a basic outpost, so I don't think that's a big stretch. Cardassians have a Nor, I believe. Of course, that's related more to the mirror stuff in the next set. But anyways, there's a few things. A Bajoran Wormhole to get the mirror stuff to interact a bit better. Alrighty, where to begin? Let's start over here with Odo.
I didn't put any sleeves. Do you want sleeves or no?
Oh shoot, yes, having some sleeves handy would be a good thing. So yeah, like I said, there's a few cards like there that I'm still looking at for myself for deck building, but there are a lot. I opened a fair bit of this last year, so there's other cards which I'm more than happy to part with, and we can do a little bit of a giveaway if people are interested as well. So
I think we need to have a like or something, because we need more people in and more likes before we just give it away. I don't know.
Well, obviously we're not going to do that right off the hop here when there's nobody here, but if there's enough people and they're interested, let's get a bit better light here. So here we have the United Federation of Planets and Klingon Organian Peace Treaty. Pacifist energy pacifistic energy beings known as the Organians imposed upon the United Federation of Planets and Klingon Empire the treaty that those warring factions were unable to forge themselves. Seeds or plays on table, your Federation and Klingon affiliation cards that have the classic series icon may mix and cooperate. So, and this treaty can't be cancelled in the usual way with the devil card. So this can let you make a original series type theme where you have your Klingons and Federation working together, which is kind of neat. For someone just starting to collect this set, what would you suggest to buy first? Ooh, that's a good question. It depends how you want to do it. If you're looking for singles, there's certain ones that might be more playable, or just the interesting bits if it's more for collecting, and the characters are probably the most interesting. But if you're looking to consider playing, and again, it's the only way to get these 2 cards unless you buy the single from somewhere, I think the 2 starter decks are a good way to start. It gives you the option for learning the game. It gives you some unique cards you can't get anywhere else. I think they're they're a pretty good way to go. Not quite as good as the Death Star 2 ones. Those ones had more main sort of characters in them, but still a good place to start, I think. Now here's an interesting one because, again, the Cardassians and Bajorans don't typically get along. But in 2371, the Bajoran and Cardassian peoples finally began to put their long conflict behind them with the signing of a peace treaty between the Legate Trurel and newly elected Kai Wynn. Plays on table for free if you have Beryl, Kai Wynn, or Trurel in play. Your Cardassian and Bajoran affiliations recognize this treaty economics and cooperate. So you can't seed this one, but it is good to have an option. And again, that's something else I should definitely mention. See at the bottom here, 20C, and on the previous one, 17C. This was the first set where they introduced numbered the cards in the set and put the rarity. So these are commons. You got U for uncommon, R for rare, and UR for the ultra rare, the Dr. McCoy. And there's only the one ultra rare in the set. But that makes it a lot easier for collecting, having the cards numbered, and easy to identify rarity since they actually included it on these for the first time in the Star Trek customizable card games history. So that was a very handy addition as well for this set. Here's
I like that one. That
the
cool.
dilemma. Yeah. Oops. In 2374, an ill-prepared band of Ferengi arranged a prisoner exchange aboard Empak Nor. Their profound lack of competence made the process even more difficult than they had expected. So it's a dilemma that can play at a space or ground mission. Unless leadership present kills one personnel random selection and stops all others present. To get past requires 3 staff personnel or 3 red drones or Nog. This is interesting because usually staff personnel are not in high demand because if you have the command star personnel, they can also serve as staff. So it's easy to overstock your deck with command personnel and not actually have that many staff qualified personnel available at times. Here's one of the tactics. Again, the tactics were introduced in Blaze of Glory. So that was just two sets before this one. This one here, Breen Disruptor Burst. So they tend to be keyed to specific factions, although anyone can use them. So it gives you an attack bonus of 2, defense bonus of 2. Most of the better ones were, as I recall, gave 3 and 2. Attack bonus is +2 if you have a Breen ship firing. And hit puts 2 of these tactic cards from your pile onto the card, and direct hit is 4. And this one gives these stat changes to the ship if it's put on as damage, and casualties randomly kills 1.
Is this a CCG or
personnel.
TCG?
This officially is the CCG. Okay. This is coming from the period where Decipher and Wizards of the Coast and other companies were fighting over the terminology. And customizable card games were Decipher's thing. The Star Trek and Star Wars were their 2 flagship ones at this point in time. They hadn't lost the license to Star Wars quite yet, and they hadn't picked up Lord of the Rings. And CCG was the preferred term, honestly, in my area. But in the end, TCGs generally won out as the term of choice, in part because of Decipher's woes, I think. Anyway, so our next common, the lineup. If you've seen the episode, this is very familiar, and this is again from the Deep Space Nine version. You can see O'Brien and Bashir here hiding in the lineup behind Scotty and Chekhov. After a bar fight with the Klingons on Station K7, Captain Kirk ordered a lineup. No crew claimed responsibility for starting the brawl, but none pointed the finger at Mr. Scott either. To get past requires 4 personnel present, random selection, to form a lineup. All 4 are stopped unless one has integrity less than 5 or integrity greater than 8. So this won't be a problem for certain groups, but it's a common dilemma. It can play anywhere. It's interesting more than it is a really useful one, I think. Oh, and then we have Q gets the point. I hope you find it helpful, and like I said, I'm more than willing to help too. In particular, with this set, I do have some surplus that I'm willing to do giveaways and stuff with. So, to get past Q gets the point. Q, stripped of his powers, helped the USS Enterprise crew develop a plan to save Burrell 4 from destruction. Guinan used a simple serving fork to verify his claim of mortality. That was a fun episode. To get past requires 2 treachery or mortal Q, but one such personnel, opponent's choice is forked, stopped, if opponent has any Guinan in play, nullified by any Guinan.
Oh my goodness.
Bajoran Phaser Banks. This one's got a little bit less for attack bonuses, a little bit less to your stats and stuff went on it. Attack and defense bonus is +2 if you have a Bajoran ship firing with resistance or navigation aboard, or +4 if one crew member has both skills. So, if you can set that up, that could be very strong, +5/+5, but you need a Bajoran ship and one crew member with both resistance and navigation. That narrows the field substantially. Oh, here's our rare. I think this is the only rare from First Contact in this set. So make it so. Seeds or plays on table. Once each turn. Why does this have such trouble focusing with this?
I don't know.
If your staffed ship has matching commander aboard, you may unstop it once per game per ship card title. Or download Ready Room Door to download a captain's order. This is really struggling. Or if that ship is in battle, even during opponent's turn, download a tactic card once per game per tactic card title. Discard incident after use, unless that matching commander has. That's the special icon they came out with for First Contact. So there were only very few ships and commanders that had that. In fact, that version of Picard is the only one I can think of, to be honest. There were other ships there, but they, I think, reverted to the regular command icon after that. We got some sleeves handy. I might as well put the rears in sleeves. Oops. There we go. Alright, and we got our uncommons. The next set after this, they started shuffling. The commons and uncommons were randomly mixed together and then put in the packs. But this set still had commons, rares, and then uncommons at the back. Also, one of the uncommons on the sheet, it was 1,000 tribbles, and it was marked as a rare. So if you got one of those, you would generally get a double rare pack. Sherman's Peak. So this is a time location. And download Space Station K7 here. Any player may download the Organian Peace Treaty, which we saw as the first card in the pack. If a triple bomb at this location is nullified by being examined, also nullifies Hero of the Empire. Native to this timeline, all cards with both the Federation Old School icon and the Alternate Universe icon, except for mirror cards, which that's an allusion to what's coming in the next set. And then we've got Sasha Reek for helping to flush out the Bajorans. And Obelisk of Misaka. It's a referee card, and it can be a hidden agenda. Seeds are placed on table. Each time a card provides 2 or more card draws, no more than 1 may be converted to a download. Also, to move or initiate battle, each ship has 1 or more staffing icons, and each interceptor requires at least 2 crew members aboard. Once each turn, unless opponent has the Mask of Corgano in play, you may download Masaka transformations and then discard incident. So this was a card to help combat certain strategies which were getting a little bit out of hand in competitive play at the time. So it slows down decks that just download tons and tons of stuff, and it also means to move or initiate battleship that has staffing icons requires at least 2 crew members aboard. So people used to use Klingon Bird of Preys, which only have a single staffing icon, and then just throw a single officer with staff on it, and you could get a fleet moving very quickly if you just needed 1 person per ship. This slows that down a little bit too. Those are the uncommons. I guess I'll put uncommons over here and rares in the middle. Here we go. So that was the first pack. This will speed up a little bit as we go here because I don't need to read them all, and certainly not duplicates once we get more duplicates, but I'll definitely hit some of the highlights. I guess I should show this as well. The Trouble with Tribbles is an expansion for Star Trek customizable card game that consists of a universe of 141 new common, uncommon, and rare cards. This package contains 11 randomly assorted cards, 7 commons, 3 uncommons, 1 rare, to add to your collection and expand your power in the universe. And again, Decipher and their website, which was actually well known. I used to go and visit that sometimes because they had neat stuff there. 2000 is when this set came out. Again, that's pretty much dead on the same time frame as Death Star 2 for Star Wars. Here's one of our Dominion personnel. Lamb, generic security. Staff. Temporal investigations. Plays on table once every turn. If opponent reports an alternate universe personnel or ship to the Alpha Quadrant space line, you may draw 1 card or download Luxley and or Dulmer. Here's one of the Trouble cards. These never saw much play, to be honest. They're very keyed to the Tribble side deck and building up Tribbles, and usually that basically just gums up the game. So, in a way, it's the Tribbles weren't the most popular. I mean, as a side game, I've heard people who like it, but as a part of this card game, using the Tribble side deck, I found most people just found them more an encumbrance than they were worth. So a lot of people just didn't bother. That's, again, the biggest problem with the set. And honestly, if you're going to have a problem, too many Tribble cards in a Tribble set is a very thematic problem to have, at least. It's right on brand. So you need 100 Tribbles or Tribble Bomb on a ship or facility. When any personnel moves away from this group, up to 10 of this group's Tribbles and or your Tribble Bomb present may go with that personnel. Discard Trouble. Here's your classic Type 2 phaser. Federation use only. Each of your Federation icon personnel present is Strength +2 cumulative, and each of your leaders with that adds security.
I just saw a nice cube.
So it's nice to get an equipment that can expand the skills and stats of your personnel. So that's potentially quite good. And there's at least one fellow who downloads this. I'm trying to remember if there's more than one. But a lot of the characters from the original series, the main bridge crew, could download different classic equipment.
Oh, you're not getting the updated questions on yours. founder just asked how many different sets are there for Star Trek.
For Star Trek?
You're just not. Maybe the chat just froze on you.
Oh, could be. How many different sets are they? It's roughly the same as Star Wars, but that doesn't answer your question very well. I think it was about 13 or 14 sets that you could get booster packs for. Yeah, that sounds about right. I could name them all, but let's see. There's Premiere, Alternate Universe, that's 2. Q Continuum was 3. The fourth was First Contact. Then you had, that was the 4 for Next Generation people. Then you had 6 sets for Deep Space Nine. Basically, you had Deep Space Nine, the Dominion, Blaze of Glory, Rules of Acquisition, then Trouble with Tribbles and Mirror Universe were all sort of Deep Space Nine sets. Then you had Voyager, The Borg, and Holodeck Adventure Holodeck Adventure was a real mix, but mainly those 3 are seen as being Voyager sets. And then you had one for the rest of the films came out as well. So that's 4, 6, and 4. That's 14 sets right there. And that's not including other little promotional releases they had as well.
Founder remembers Voyager.
Yeah, so do I. I didn't get into Voyager as much as the other 3 that are in this game, but I do remember I did watch, especially the earlier season or 2. I found it got a little bit weird later, and I just got busy, and I didn't have time to follow things as much. This is another one of these referee cards that helped smooth out competitive play. Seeds are placed on table. When an opponent plays scan or full planet scan, you may kill 1 computer skill personnel on any ship there, even if Doctor landed, and or download scanner interference. You also may place incident on any outpost to prevent space doors from reopening, nullified by 4 engineered aboard. Or discard incident to nullify Binar's weapon enhancements or genetronic replicators. So again, these were all cards and strategies which were heavily used at the time, and this gave you a card that could play hidden, and then you could
Ryan says hi.
Go get it to help. Hi Ryan, thanks for joining us. Yeah, my chat here is completely frozen. I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. Angela's here to read the chat for me, I guess.
As long as my iPad works.
Yeah. Okay, we are the Packlids. We want to be strong. The Packlids are, I guess, well, it was before the time of memes, but they were a bit of a meme within the Star Trek community. We look for things to make us go. Yeah, so that was, they got a few cards in this set. Oh, and here's a Romulan-Bajoran alliance. After the Romulans' Star Empire's entry to the Dominion War, Senator Kretek established a Romulan military presence on Deep Space Nine and a fragile trust with Colonel Kira. Plays on table for free if you have Colonel Kira or Senator Kretek in play. Your Romulan Bajoran is recognized as treaty economics and cooperate. Ordinarily, each faction has to stick to its own ships and can only work with its own personnel, and non-aligned can work with any of them as well, but cooperation is certainly helpful. Oh, here's a rare ship, the Ning Tao. Bird of Prey, commanded by Kor in 2375, held off a fleet of 10 pursuing Jem'Hadar warships, presumed lost in glorious battle. Now the subject of legend. So, 777 is pretty decent stats for a Bird of Prey. Usually the base model, the generic non-unique ones, are range 8, weapon 6, shield 6. So this is a little bit better for fighting. And this one gets shields +2 for each opposing Dominion ship here. And again, cloaking device standard for this type of ship, so strike. That's our rare. And then we got, Regirod, so another one of the Packlids. We are Packlids. We have an engineer. He is Retrorod. And he's got greed, geology, physics, and can download plasmodine relay. Once per game, may steal one hand weapon present. And then here's 100 tribbles. Yeah, breeds from 10 tribbles. When present at a mission, when present mission attempts require 2 leadership. If on a planet, prevents scoring colony points there. That's rescue. There's 3 pictures, I think, for each of the tribble amounts. And there's 1 tribbles, 10 tribbles, 100 tribbles. 1 and 10 are commons. We haven't seen those yet, surprisingly. The uncommon ones are the 100 tribbles and 1,000 tribbles, which I think are also some of them labeled as rares, but they're in the uncommon slot.
Oh,
and then you can also get 10,000 and 100,000 tribbles as rares. So yeah, there's tribbles all over the place in this set.
We should have mentioned to your brother that we were going live. He might have liked watching.
Oh, he might have. And he may rewatch it later at his convenience.
Yep.
So there's Uhura, which is one of the cards I'm hoping we can pull here, just for my own deck building, without having to pull things out of my set. Seen this? Here's a dilemma, Chula, The Way Home. There's a bunch of these Chula dilemmas. Again, Deep Space Nine themed. To get past requires 3 personnel. Present, random selection are chosen. Opponent may relocate 1 to Quark's Bar, your facility, at your facility, if the other 2 have a combined integrity less than 15. Trouble card in the transporters, 100 tribbles or less. No, wait, this is the same one we already read. Here's 1 tribble, and it's a go card. The go or rescue you saw on this one, those are for the tribble card game specifically. They don't have any actual effect in the Star Trek customizable card game. You just play them with the text here and based on the number of tribbles. So may report anywhere. Each non-Klingon present is cunning -1. Once every turn may stop 1 personnel present. Random selection. So again, they're an encumbrance to the crew. Oh, and here's good old Lieutenant Grant. This is the only card in the set who is generic, and it's a generic security red shirt for the. I'm talking here specifically for the original Star Trek faction. He's the only generic one. So that's nice and thematic anyway. Security personnel, staff, and may replace any of your classic personnel present who was just randomly selected to die. He's got honor.
Founder asked if these sets can be found in sealed booster boxes. Star Trek sets.
Well, this is a sealed booster box that we just opened, so yeah, they are around. It can be tricky to find. They are getting older. I'm sure you could find them on, eBay, and certain card shops probably carry them. We got this one from a place in the States called Hills Wholesale Gaming. They've usually got fairly good prices, although their shipping can be tricky.
Well, especially if you're in Canada.
True. But yeah, the mirror set made a couple more generic personnel for the Federation Classic, but they were mirror personnel. So I don't think the Federation got another non-unique personnel until the very last product released. The
Did you ever answer that question? Sorry, asking what set.
Yes, that I did see.
Sorry, I'm still checking.
Then they came up with Lieutenant Palmer. Yeah, the big people from the original series in this one are the main sort of 7: Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Uhura, Scotty, Sulu, and Chekhov. In Mirror Universe, they got mirror versions of all those characters. Plus, they added Lieutenant Kyle, who was a recurring character who was in a number of episodes, but not as many as the main ones, obviously. And Nurse Chapel, who was also a recurring character. Christopher Pike showed up in the All Good Things package right towards the end of that game.
Founder says, I'm interested in the TV show set mostly.
TV show set.
That's, which is these pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean, well,
is there one that's not TV show?
There were two sets that were based off the films. First Contact was based off the First Contact movie, and then the last of the main sets that they released in booster packs was the motion pictures, which basically included all the original 6 movies from the original series cast, plus cards from Generations and Insurrection. So the 3 Star Trek films for Next Generation, less First Contact, which had already had its own set. Yeah, so here's an extra Borg drone, Delta Quadrant. Where present, your adapt negate obstruction is nullified. You may place it beneath your draw deck, so it lets you recycle that. Ooh, we got Scotty, Mr. Scott. This is one of the reasons I wanted that other card handy. This is the second time they printed a card for Mr. Scott, and he's original series, double engineer, leadership, astrophysics, transporter skill, and he can download that Type 2 phaser. Again, being a leadership personnel, remember that phaser would also give him security. So, and if on a Constitution class ship, so that includes Starship Enterprise, but also the generic, USS Constitution or whatever, it's all attributes +2. That's a huge boost to a ship to give all range, shields, and weapons +2. He's a very strong personnel. The first version that came out was the one that made a guest appearance in Star Trek The Next Generation. So he was double engineer with a big star, astrophysics, honor, and miracle worker, which includes transporter skill. But it doesn't really hold a candle to this new version. Obviously, he was old and injured, so he's only got strength 3. But the other 2 stats at the bottom there are the same. But again, being from the different time period, he's you need an alternate universe way to get him into play, unless you're playing with the sort of time zones mechanic. But a very strong card, and I'm glad to pull one of these for sure. I just find I enjoy comparing their different printings. This was not the last Scotty by any means. They did have another one that came out that comes to mind from the motion pictures era as well.
Andrew remembers Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty was probably my second favorite character in the original series after Spock growing up. Home front. Seeds or plays on any homeworld. In place of a normal card play, a security personnel matching the homeworld's affiliation may download here. Owner draws no cards that turn. No player may attempt this mission or use headquarters game's text here unless they have for security on the planet, or plays on table. Your personnel who have infiltration icons may report here for free on homeworlds those icons match. So yeah, this is a card which was often used to help accelerate and get your key personnel out, because it could download those security personnel.
So, Founder says Star Trek was the only American TV show she watched as a child. That's why I asked about those specific sets. I won't play the game. I just want to collect the original TV show cards.
Yeah, fair enough. The original series, Star Trek, the main 2 sets that had cards for that were The Trouble with Tribbles and Mirror Mirror. Those are the 2 that had the original series in it, for the most part. There was also a few original series cards in the that final finale product they came out with. Why do I keep forgetting its name? All Good Things.
Okay.
It's been named after the last All Good Things Must Come to an End episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, but it's got cards. It's got Christopher Pike, it's got Lieutenant Palmer, and Yeoman Rand. Those are the 3 from the original series that they put in to that release. But that one is very hard to find, and unfortunately those cards are all rather expensive. They range anywhere from $75 to $300 a piece, last I checked. So, yeah. Here's a Klingon Crass. He's from, again, the original series. So, you can tell back before they had the Klingon foreheads. And he's got acquisition, geology, treachery.
He's supposed to be a Klingon?
Yes. That's what Klingons looked like in the original series. More or less. This guy's also a Klingon from the original series. So,
interesting.
Yes. You've even got a line in this episode that this is based off of from Worf, where he doesn't, Klingons don't like to talk about it, but yes, they are Klingons. So I think eventually they get into a little bit more detail. But.
Great, I found the Troubles BBs on, Tribbles booster box on eBay. I'll look for the mirror booster box now. Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, those are those are the two that have the most original series cards in them by far. There's the odd other one in like Holodeck Adventures, but very, very few anywhere else, really. I think the Telosians had the dilemma from...
yeah, Tribbles. I figured that's what you meant.
Tribble. There we go. Tribbles.
So I have a question for you.
Well, this is another interesting card that helped accelerate gameplay, but what's your question?
If you could send Tribbles to anyone in the world, who would you send them to and why?
It's hard to say. I mean, Abram loves furry little pets, but they have to be managed very strictly. Otherwise, they get out of hand, is the whole thing. Okay. I don't know.
Well, what if you wanted
I don't think it would be
to
good.
Annoy somebody?
I don't think it would be good to have Tribbles on our planet in general. I think they would get out of hand very easily.
But if you wanted to annoy somebody and you knew you could get rid of them whenever you wanted.
Oh, boy, that's a lot of ifs. Who would I like to pester with Tribbles? Oh, there's a number of people, I'm sure. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. This could venture to politics too quickly for me.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that. We should avoid that one.
Seeds or plays on table. Unique. Your support personnel, those who have exactly 2 skills, but no special skills, may report aboard your compatible ships to have ships that have 2 or more staffing icons. So this allows you to report people directly to your ships instead of the outpost. That's very, very handy. Once each turn, you may discard objective to download a support personnel once per game, per personnel card title, to your matching ship that has 2 or more staffing icons, or to your matching facility. So this was a card that would help you seed it, and it basically gives you a free personnel play. So it helps you get going quicker. A lot of the personnel cards from early sets, like Premiere, would only have 1 skill if they were a generic personnel. Special skills refer to ones that aren't just the keyword. So, for example, this guy here does have 2 skill dots, but this one's a special skill, because it's something that it has to describe in words. May replace your classic icon personnel present who was selected to die. This is a base skill, a regular skill. It's just, honor or engineer or whatever. So that's the distinction there. Here's another Trouble card in the engine room. If you got 100 Tribbles on a ship, reduces weapons and range by 1. If there's 1,000, ship is stopped after each of its moves, unless 3 engineer aboard. At an ore processing unit, suspends process ore.
You said the best place to get singles that you like is Category 1?
Category 1 games is a good site for singles, for old games like this. It's probably the best one that I know to come to mind.
We've always had really good interaction with them. Even if
ooh, wow. For Scotty, now Kirk. This has been...
a good box.
Well, so far, it's still pretty early. But yeah.
Ooh.
The Kirk is not a skill monster like Picard is, but he has some very unique abilities, which are very helpful to the Federation. Big Star Officer, legendary starship captain. 17 temporal violations. The man was a menace. Leadership ×2. He's an officer. May initiate battle against non-Federation.
Likes the set. Sorry.
Yeah. Can download captain's log. That's something which, if he's on a matching ship that he commanded, gives it +3 to weapons and shields. So very nice. And may stun an adversary he just engaged. That's in hand-to-hand combat if that comes up. And once every turn may stop one female present. That's an allusion to his beguiling ways in the original series. Anyways, good stat line, 898 as well. Captain Kirk was, this is not technically, I guess, the first time that these appeared, because Captain Kirk was available as a ultra rare preview card in the Dominion set with a white border. Have you ever see Captain Kirk with a white border? I think the formatting for this might be slightly different too, but that's from the Dominion, and that was an ultra rare. They had preview cards in the Dominion for a bunch of different sets. Captain Kirk was one of them. They had Worf, son of Moog from Blaze of Glory. They also had, who else was there? Admiral Riker, who didn't show up until All Good Things again. Here's another uncommon. And there was a fourth one, 7 of 9, I think, from the Borg. Anyway, classical medical tricorder. Your classic personnel present who have medical or science classifications add medical or biology or exobiology. May reselect one each turn, whichever one you need. So that's handy. Q the referee. Another referee card.
Q was fun.
Oh, he could be annoying, but yes. Seeds or plays on table. Intermix ratio. Mirror image. Oaf. Intruder alert. Temporal vortex. Scratched hand. And the juggler have the Q icon. Once each turn, you may play one referee card. Sorry, that's the referee icon. Referee card for free, or discard and place beneath draw deck one of your referee cards from hand or in play to draw a card. You may also suspend play while you download any other referee icon card, including computer crash, then discard incident. So again, that ties in with some of the other ones. Yeah, this was at the point where they were introducing a lot of new mechanics, the triple deck, the the icon cards. Some of them were to help smooth things out and were partially successful, but basically the game got a little bit too bloated and complex if you tried to use them all, I found.
So Founder says that that's the fun part for me, looking for the rare cards.
Yeah, that's usually the main highlight, and we'll, like I said, the more of the other cards we see, we'll get to the rares a little quicker here as we go. On the station, if 1,000 tribbles, just after this group breeds, up to 100 of its tribbles may spread, move to an adjacent site, or into out of a facility, or landed, docked, or carried ship. And 10,000 tribbles at Bajoran Shrine prevents conducting services. Here's a 1 triple card. Again, classic Kirk getting fed up when they showed up in his coffee. Same game effect, except this one is a discard if you're playing the triple subgame. I've seen these before. There's Yint. Live long and prosper. Saves a Vulcan who's just randomly selected to die, or once per turn returns an opposing personnel who died to hand, and draw a card for each of its skill icons. Excuse me.
So Founder also...
Here's our rare Lieutenant Dax. So this is again one of the Deep Space Nine personnel who went back in time to visit in that episode. Archaeology, astrophysics, anthropology, and can download a classic tricorder.
Ryan says good card.
Not bad. Science personnel I've always found were the trickier ones to find in for the Federation. So this one's definitely not a bad one. Although I think I still prefer Spock.
Founder also was saying that first she'll have to find the base cards to master the set.
The base cards.
I don't know if she means like uncommon or what she means.
Maybe she means if she's getting a box, she'll see.
Lucas got his message tonight yet?
But yeah, the starter decks are definitely like those two face cards. You can't get out of the booster packs.
Hey,
from those starter decks.
Did Lucas get his message?
No. So transporter skill, biology, and can download Bathlet, which again was in. They included that was in Blaze of Glory, but they included it in the starter decks. There's actually two different versions of it in the starter deck. One with tribbles on the end of the sword, and one without. So useful Romulan personnel. Okay, this is a regular. Wasn't in the original series, but he was a named crew member that they added as sort of a lower decks type person for the episode where they brought in from Deep Space Nine so that they could interact with some personnel who weren't the main bridge crew. Starship Enterprise engineering assistant discovered Ensign O'Brien incompetently performing a maintenance task. So that's, again, if you're familiar with the Deep Space Nine episode, that's where that comes into play. Here's a Worf pack. Worf is an interesting character, to be sure, but him and O'Brien both benefited greatly from being part of both The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. O'Brien was a sort of a secondary character on Next Generation, and then became a primary character at Deep Space Nine, whereas Worf was primary right through Next Generation's whole run, and then after it ended, moved over to Deep Space Nine a little later. So, but yeah, they were two classics. Okay, plays on your transporter skill. Your ships there decloak and dephase while that personnel operates transporters, then recloak, rephase, or nullifies scan or full planet scan. So,
the founder says that Spock is her favorite as well.
Yeah, Spock was definitely my favorite from the original series. Like I said, I think Scotty was my second favorite, but I enjoyed most of the characters to be honest.
I think what made it so good was just like everyone together. There was a couple ones that I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, the ensemble was definitely great.
It's like Bones and Spock's like bantering back and forth.
Here we go. The Galgathon.
Or more Bones is bantering, I guess.
So this is the Romulan ship from the Balance of Terror episode, where they first encounter the Romulans, commanded by Keras during the incursion of the neutral zone, possibly the first Romulan ship with a cloaking device. So yeah, cloaking device, tractor beam. Compared to the ships that you'd find in Premiere and stuff, the stat line is a little bit lower, but that goes for all of the that time period classical Star Trek ships. They're all understated, but most of them also have ways that you can increase their stats with the personnel, like Scotty does. But yeah, this one having the cloaking device is definitely a boon to it for sure. And that Commander Keras, who captains it, was played by the same actor who plays Sarek, Spock's father. So that's always a nice. He does a good job, whatever he does. Oh, yeah, I should mention something. So the Bajoran ships were always a little bit underpowered. They got a couple more in these sets to help them out. Here's another Ferengi. Now that the Ferengi have their own affiliation, they get a couple cards dropped here and there, just like the Borg. Objective: Hero of the Empire. Seeds or plays on Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Station K7. So that's the original series one. Download Captain Kirk aboard. He may not be moved. If he leaves, play because of a triple bomb or why does it keep, or an action your opponent initiated, time disrupted in 2267. Place objective on table. Each Alpha Quadrant mission solved this game is minus 10 points if solved by opponent, or plus 10 if showing Klingon icon and solved by your non-Federation crew or away team. So it really will cripple your opponent's game if you manage to kill Kirk with some tribbles. And that was the plot of that episode. I really like these pack designs. Like I say, the variety. You only have Odo and Worf from Deep Space Nine, but you got packs here for McCoy, Spock, Uhura, and Kirk. All get their own wrappers, so I've always really appreciated that. Here's the oops.
Neighbor's dog is barking.
Suicidal attack. That's more for the rescue. Yeah, Breener Romulan as a captain. Doorway. Storage compartment door. This is the one you play to have the Tribble side decks. All those Tribble cards and the Trouble cards, they would all stack underneath here and then come out. So place atop Tribble side deck during the seed phase. Side deck is now opened and in play. Once each turn, you may draw up to 3 cards from side deck, then play or discard each. Or stock in the deck and play once each turn to download from your Tribble side deck 1 Trouble or Tribble card, or to nullify any card that is closing another storage compartment door. Then discard doorway. So it can let you go and get specific cards you need from this to get your Tribble strategy going if you've got extra copies in your deck, or reopen the door if someone closes it. Yeah, and the way the Tribbles work, you can't play, obviously, 100 Tribbles unless you had 10. So you got to build them up. You got to start with a 1 and then a 10 and then a 100, etc., etc. And here's the classic communicator. Allows your classic personnel present to add a skill from one of your other compatible classic personnel at the same location. So lets people share skills. It's quite handy.
It just makes me want to go watch Star Trek.
Oh, and here's our rare Lieutenant Sulu. So that's the third of the big 7 original crew members we found. We found Scotty and then Spock and now Sulu. So that's pretty good.
Did you ever pull the Bones card?
Yes.
I mean you yourself, not...
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Dr. McCoy, but yeah, Bones.
Bones, he's always Bones. He will always be Bones.
Niels Barris, he's again from that episode. VIP, biology, law, or diplomacy. Change at any time, but can't have both at once, apparently. An incoming message, Federation to any location, can be downloaded. Yeah, this guy was frustrating. Federation Undersecretary in charge of agricultural affairs, assigned to oversee development of Sherman's planet, misused the Priority 1 distress channel. Tisk tisk. Pukalu, this is this 2 here is a countdown, so it only stays in play for a couple of turns. It's a planet dilemma. Unless resistance or animal present bites a non-android random selection. If Trill with symbiote dies now, discard dilemma. Otherwise disabled until countdown expires. So yeah, large spider-like creature. And then we've got Broca. Cardassian officer quickly promoted to legate in the wake of Damar's defection. Says he believes in the Dominion. Strives in vain to please the founder. Big Star VIP.
Says I liked Nils. And Michelle Kelly is wondering if she can see the Spock card again.
We haven't opened the Spock card yet.
Well, she said Spook, but I'm assuming she meant Spock.
Sulu was the one we just opened. I did sort of skim over originally. Originally assigned to the Starship Enterprise as senior physicist, Hikaru Sulu quickly transferred to the helm. Hobbies include botany, fencing, and antique firearms. So he's an officer with physics, navigation, biology, science, and if on Starship Enterprise, adds 2 to its weapons. See, I would have thought it would have made more sense for him to add to range since he's the helm officer, but I mean, he does operate the weapons as well. And then the other ones, we have the Kirk and the Scotty. Those are the 3 we've opened so far from the original series crew. There's Spock. Let's see if we can find it.
Let's go Spock.
Oops. In the engine room. Okay, here's the generic Starship Constitution. Range 6, weapons 4, shields 6. Only takes 1 personnel to staff it, but it's got to be a classic personnel. Has tractor beam and can download any non-unique Federation personnel. That's really handy to be able to download a personnel with your ship. However, like I mentioned before, the only non-unique Federation personnel, Federation classic personnel there is that security Lieutenant Grant guy. Still, I mean, useful to be able to go get him, but your options are pretty limited, at least at the time this set came out. Later, they did add Lieutenant Palmer, but she's hard to find. The Starship Enterprise can download any Federation personnel, and it doesn't have to be non-unique, so you can go get any of your bridge crew with that one, so that's even better. And I think the stats are a hair better as well.
Do you need a drink or something?
A drink wouldn't hurt.
Ginger ale or something else?
These we've all seen before.
I did just open.
3rd of 5.
I did just open a cranberry ginger ale for Lucas, so there's that leftover.
Okay.
You want that?
Sure. Yeah, I think this was Hugh actually as a Borg drone before he got freed from the collective. That's why it can download Hugh. Geology, stellar cartography, biology. If on your scout vessel, it is all attributes +2 or +4 in the Alpha Quadrant. Then we've got a VR headset. Allows a Dominion ship, one of your Vorta, Jem'Hadar, or Cardassians present, to enhance weapons and shields +1, and serve as matching commander. And that we've seen before. Chain reaction pulsar. Attack 5, defense 0, requires a staffed ship which has 3 or more staffing icons firing. Attack bonus +1 if it's in a cure class. Hit or direct hit, this card goes on and nullifies 1 event card enhancing target's attributes. So those mutational shields and things, cards, you can get events that buffed your card's shields, basically. And this is from Star Trek Armada, which was a video game, I think. And yeah, heavy 35 is about the best you could usually expect on hull damage.
Oof.
For these, I'll throw a sleeve on 3rd of 5 here.
I'm tired. I'm sorry, I keep yawning. I had a hard time falling asleep last night. Because Ezra was awake early and came to bed this morning.
There's the Breen Disruptors again. Trouble on the Station again. Mordock. Security Astrophysics. So yeah, he would be Assigned Mission Specialist was the other card that lets you go get 2 personnel with only 1 skill. So he would be useful for that, but not the other one from this set that lets you get someone with 2 skills. This guy could, and he's security, medical, archaeology. So Klingon soldier reporting to Governor Kor, stationed on planet Organia. On Kor's orders, helped round up Organian citizens for execution. Oh, our rare here is a stolen attack ship. Jem'Hadar attack ship briefly commanded by Loran, upgraded with Breen weapons technology, stolen by members of Damar's rebellion, commanded by Kira. So it's got energy dampeners and invasive transporters. Only takes 1 to staff and is 688. Not a battleship, and it can be used by either the Cardassians or the Federation. In later sets, dual icon cards like this would be printed with, see this one has the purple border for the Cardassians, or the blue border, and you could get either one. But because they wanted to keep it the same rarity as the other rares, it was basically half the time you'd get one, half the time you'd get the other, but it would still be the same rarity. So if you're looking for a specific border color, it became just as rare or more as the ultra rares in the sets.
Okay, question for you. What was your favorite ship in Star Trek? And if it's not the Enterprise, what one is it?
Individual ship or ship class, like
whatever you take.
I always really liked the Klingon Bird of Praise. I thought they were neat, maneuverable. They could cloak. I thought that was a great design. Here's Thought Pran, Breen General, successor to Thought Gore, ordered installation of Breen weaponry on Jem'Hadar ships, seeks to secure Romulus and Earth for the Breen. High strength, big star. Unlike most Dominion personnel, these Breen ones don't have the tetracell white requirement, which makes them handy. Archaeology, exobiology, and transporter skills. And there's Mondor, that's the Pakled ship. You just need a Pakled to pilot it. Stats are pretty decent, average anyway. For a single staff ship, it's pretty good. Cloaking device, holodeck, particle scattering device, and tractor beam. So it's a pretty well-stocked ship, actually. Yeah. And there's 10 tribbles. Poor old Quark.
I love Quark.
May report anywhere. Each Klingon present is integrity -1, and unless Divok present, lose their first listed skill.
Quark is a fun character.
He is.
Lucas is very giggly right now.
He does seem to be.
I just gave him all tonics on his sleeves, and I should get his iPad away, but...
1 triple.
Can I understand I like the look of these cards? They're very nostalgic for me.
They do. Honestly, that was one of Decipher's strength early on, was their making good-looking cards, basically. The Columbus shuttlecraft, typical Starfleet shuttlecraft, circa 2260s, assisted in the search of missing Galileo 7. Has no transporters, so you got to be able to dock it to transfer people. May be reported, carried, and launched aboard your Constitution-class ships. Very weak stat line, really. Range 5 is pretty meh, and weapons 1 and shields 3 are very, very poor. But what do you expect? It's a shuttlecraft.
How many booster boxes did it take for you to finish your set?
When we were building that set with my brother and I, we got a sealed case of Trouble with Tribbles booster boxes. That was 6 boxes. And the distribution from Decipher can be funny. We pulled 4 copies of the ultra rare Dr. McCoy, but there were 2 rares, regular rares, that never showed up in those 6 boxes, even between the 2 of us opening. He opened 2 boxes and I opened 4 out of the 6. There's 100,000 Tribbles clone card. Where present prevents personnel from reporting for free. If on a planet, when that mission is solved, reduces its points by 10. that. Defend Homeworld, another referee card. And this is another one that... Did we already do this? Yeah. Caesar plays on the table. Initiate... When an opponent initiates battle against your card at a homeworld, or matching that card's affiliation, just after the target it is targeted, you may download there any number of HQ cards and compatible ships, leaders, security personnel, and hand weapons. Once per game, you may discard objective to download a security personnel or any HQ card, except return orb. So yeah, basically this is another card that lets you go and just go get a security personnel whenever you wanted. So that opens up, a lot of possibilities if you got the right personnel to get your crew going very quickly on turn one. If you're downloading 2 mission specialists, that other one with 2 skills, and then another one with security, you can go get 4 personnel basically as early as turn 1. Really speeds things up. Lieutenant D'Amato, senior geologist aboard the Starship Enterprise, eager to study mysterious asteroid discovered. I forget which episode this guy was in, but I'm pretty sure he's one of those fellows who was just in one episode in the original series. Geology specialist. Yeah, geology times 2 in archaeology.
So much easier to read as the last comment covers.
Obedience brings victory. Yeah, this is to help manage Ketracel White. I think. I never played the Dominion much, so I never had to worry about Ketracel White, fortunately, all that much.
Is there any card that they didn't put in the set that you think they should have? Or a type of card or something?
Honestly,
or did they do a really good job?
I think they did a really good job. To make it a little bit more playable as a distinct format, like I said, you'd want a Romulan outpost. And that's when combined with the Mirror. The cards that also bother me that they didn't include, like Nurse Chapel, ended up being released in the next set. So there's that too. Along with the mirror versions of all those characters. So there's your Phaser, Trouble, there's the Organian Treaty again, lineup. Trouble on the Bridge. 100 on ship, suspends attribute enhancements related to its matching commander. 1,000 limits each mission attempt to 10 personnel. So you can't just swarm a mission with endless personnel. Ooh, the 60-second rule of acquisition. The riskier the road, the greater the profit. So again, the rules of acquisition were sort of a sub-mechanic that got introduced with the rules of acquisition expansion with the Ferengi there, the previous expansion to this that was released. So, and here's our rare. Tactic, Breen Energy Dampening Weapon. Requires ship with energy dampener firing. Hit or direct hit, it goes on and downloads another card. And unless target is the Sao Paulo, IKC Katang, or has energy dampener, Power Surge also disables range and weapons. So yeah. That's bad if your range and weapons are both disabled. Your shields are -2. Yeah. Special equipment is offline. Discard this damage marker at the end of opponent's next turn. And there's Cross again. 100 triples. And we look for things. So this is plays on your staff Packlet ship. May discard incident to acquire 1 artifact, event, or equipment enhancing attributes of opponent's ship present. So yeah, helps the Packlet steal stuff. Or downloads a copy of any artifact as if earned, event, or equipment enhancing attributes of an opponent's ship. Discard incident. Scan cycle check. And transporters. Chula. Organian. Class communicator. Lineup.
A lot of doubles and triples and
commons especially, yes. Commons, you're always going to get a fair bit of that. Ferengi infestation. And in anticipation of a prisoner exchange, a Dominion delegation delegation boarded Empok Nor in 2374. They found that the Ferengi were already entrenched there. Opponent may download up to 2 male Ferengi to a facility at this location, or up to 6 if facility is Empok Nor. To get past requires 2 security and cunning greater than 50.
What would you rather have an infestation in your house? Ferengi or tribbles?
Well, you could reason with the Ferengi a little bit better.
But the tribbles would be so much more fun to cuddle.
Well, yes. Tribble Bomb. Countdown of 3. Plays for free on your Tribble group if you're Barry Waddle at same location. Unique. When countdown expires, kills 1 personnel present, your choice. Once per turn, any player's personnel present who has any tricorder may search for bomb. Shuffle bomb into all your tribbles, if present, if any. That player randomly examines half of those cards, rounded up. Bomb is nullified if so examined.
Ryan says Ferengi, you can brighten to leave. Not sure what brighten to leave means.
Not entirely sure. But yeah, this is the card you were trying to kill Kirk with, basically, for that other mission. And that's based again on the plot of the episode. But yeah, I mean, the Ferengi could be fun in their own way, for sure. It's so sad how many of the actors who played the original series of main characters have passed away now. I think of the main 7, the only ones who are still alive are William Shatner from Captain Kirk, and then was it Walter Coyne for Chekhov, and oh shoot, what's the guy who plays Sulu's name again?
Is it George
Takei, yes.
Yeah.
I think those are the only 3 left, because yeah, Scotty, Spock, McCoy, and Uhura, the actors have all passed away now. There's Lamb. Another Starship Constitution. Marduk. Subspace Transporter. Plays on your ship. Each turn may beam one of your treachery personnel to and or from anywhere at same or adjacent location. So let's see.
Okay.
Ooh, we got the Starship Enterprise. Excellent poll.
Another
Very
question.
glad to see this one.
Either or Klingons or tribbles?
For my house?
Yeah.
Depends how adventurous I feel on the day. I do like Klingons, but they can get out of hand and dangerous in their own way. So yeah, compared to the Starship Constitution here, it's got 1 more weapons, and yeah, it can download any Federation Classic personnel instead of any non-unique Federation Classic personnel. So that is a big, big upgrade as well. So very glad to see that one. Although, strangely, just because of the angle and the shot, it's got the Deep Space Nine branding at the top because...
Oh, there's Spock.
Well, there's a picture of Spock with 10 tribbles. So we've got the Enterprise, and we've got 3 of the crew so far. Plus Jadzia. So... yeah, we've already read 10 tribbles.
They almost look like like a bunch of baby, not hamsters, but guinea pigs or something.
We've got a Bajoran Shrine. And this guy again.
How many enterprises did you have from before? In the previous ones you opened?
Of these?
Yeah.
I've got one that in the set. I think I put one in my main Federation deck as well. And I think Dave didn't open one, so I traded one to him for the cards I was missing for the set.
Okay.
And we swapped some cards back and forth. So I think I opened 3 initially, but one is in use, one is in the set, and so if I want to actually build a set based on this, I was hoping to get another. I sent one my brother's way. So here's our good old generic red shirt. Gotta love him. I remember that's one of the things about Scotty. You know, how tough was Scotty? Laddie, I'm the only one with a red shirt who hasn't died. Which isn't true, because Uhura does too, but...
Yeah.
Oh, and here's another first contact card. Resistance is futile. Plays on your established gateway, assimilate planet, or salvage starship objective. Increases objectives points by 10 while your red Borg is at the location. Or plays on an opponent's Q's planet. The 40 additional points it requires are irrelevant to your Borg while your blue Borg is at the location. Or seeds or plays on table, your green Borg may report directly to your Borg spheres. So, again, some other little tactical options for the Borg player. That's the rare. Classic Medical Tricorder, we already looked at this one. Burial Ground, and 10 triples again.
Do you think that they could have made an interesting show, or it would have been worth it, or just not to have a short series, maybe for like Wesley's adventures as like a traveler?
Oh, that could have been an interesting mini series, maybe, but
that's what I mean.
I don't know. It's
sorry. It's totally
there's
off.
the assigned support personnel for 2 skills. That's what I was talking about
that.
before.
I don't know where that thought came from.
Elmer Tactics. So yeah. Here's the Tetracell white icon for Jem'Hadar personnel.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, there's that. Here's the IKC Groth. So that's battle cruiser commanded by Koloth. So there's Captain Koloth's ship, and Captain Koloth is the one who comes in the starter deck here. And I believe he gives the Groth +1 to range, weapons, and shields for each of your Klingon classic personnel aboard. So he can give up to +3/+3/+3 to this thing. As it's matching like Commander just with his own ability before you even put anything like Captain's Log to give another +3 weapons and shields. Like, it can be quite potent. And again, he can download any Klingon classic personnel. So he can go get your Captain Koloth just by playing his ship here, which is very nice. Like I say, the base stat line for the D7 is a little weaker than most Klingon ships from the later shows, but that's some significant stats buffs that are available on this one. And then we got a triple bomb, defend homeworld again, and 10 triples again. Here's the problem with opening packs. Is my hands are occupied. Makes it hard to take a sip of that drink you brought me. Oh, there we go.
Take a quick sip.
Yep. There's triples on the station. These are all the cards we've seen before. Deval and Ensign Chekhov. This was one I was hoping to get again. Pavel Chekhov, feisty 22-year-old Russian navigator of the Starship Enterprise, protege of Mr. Spock, considers Klingons Cossacks. A small star officer, so he's a staff one, not a command, and youth, navigation, and science. If on Starship Enterprise, it is range +2. So yeah, he and Sulu gives +2 to weapons, he gives +2 to range, and Scotty gives +2 to all 3 stats. So you can get buff the Enterprise pretty nicely with these guys as well. There's Liam Bilbley. I'll grab a sleeve for Chekhov first. So that's 4. We still haven't found Spock, McCoy, or Uhura.
Did you find Sulu?
I'm still hoping to pull Uhura and the Centurion for the Romulans. Honor, treachery, geology, leadership, and Orion Syndicate. Low-ranking Orion Syndicate member obeys Ramus, his superior, order to protect his wife and children.
Any Enterprise? I don't know when that comment came in.
Sorry. For which? If on Starship Enterprise. So it's specifically this one, because that's the title of this. If it's any Enterprise, it'll say any Enterprise, but Starship Enterprise is this, as opposed to Enterprise C or Enterprise D, etc. So cultural assessment. So this is the Sherman's Planet mission. Report on long-term progress of Quadrotriticale crop, introduced here over a century ago. So it takes geology and biology, or any Spock, or any Chekhov. Can be completed by the 3 main affiliations from the base set. 30 points. Not a bad little mission. And there's B.J. Robinson. Served on the USS Enterprise, romantically involved with Thadian Okan, responsible for reporting the daily planet-to-ship transporter logs. Can download pattern enhancers, that's the little triangle is download. Transporter skill, youth, and anthropology.
I wonder why the chat stopped working on the phone.
I don't know. Maybe I hit a wrong button or something. So I do have a box of Mirror Mirror as well that we could open if people are interested at some point. Oops. Constitution, Tribble, Communicator. Q gets the point, and Lieutenant Bashir is our rare. When a chance encounter with Lieutenant Watley in 2267 suggested a predestination paradox, Julian Bashir began to believe he was his own great-grandfather. Yes, he was confused. Yes. Small star medical. Medical again means double medical, and he's got exobiology and biology, pretty standard for big medical personnel, and can download the classic medical tricorder. Cunning 9 is always nice on Bashir as well.
Do you remember that stupid song, I'm My Own Grandpa? That I came across that the other day, and I'm like trying to listen to it and understand. And when he said that he thinks his own great grandfather, that's what made me think of that song.
Yeah, well.
It's a silly song.
Korax here is a unique and memorable face from that episode, because he's the one who picks a fight with Scotty and Chekhov in the bar. First officer of the IKC Groth under Captain Koloth, Klingon expert on Regulan bloodworms and Denebrian slime devils. Outspoken critic of Captain Kirk. And that's alluding to the insults that he spat at Kirk there. So he's an officer and an engineer, and he's got physics and exobiology. Chumek. Elder Klingon, longtime advisor and attendant to the House of Kozak, constructed Brektal ritual for the Lady Gurkha and her Ferengi mate, Quark, son of Keldor.
Oh boy.
Exobiology, honor, science, law, and can download Rilka. I remember the Quark, son of Keldor card was one of the first Ferengi cards, along with Jake and Nog, but there weren't enough Ferengi cards to actually do anything with at the time. They were just, they had dual affiliations, I think, for that reason. And there's Kilana again. And again, you can see these boxes, because they're so old, almost all of these old Decipher Star Trek boxes that have opened, especially of this shape, the glue has come unattached at the back corner here. So if you ever want to keep one as a display, you gotta find a way to rectify that. Just as a public service notice. Not that many people are interested in doing such things anyway. I know some people are better at saving those wrappers than I am. I like to keep a bunch of empty wrappers in a box just so it looks, nice. There's our commons again. Creed.
Chat isn't the same without several people that are
True.
here.
Ensign O'Brien. So Miles O'Brien beamed his away team aboard the original Starship Enterprise to save Captain Kirk from Barry Waddle's assassination attempt. Small star engineer, computer skills, physics, honor, transporter skill, and can download classic communicator.
I liked O'Brien.
Yeah. They put him through the works quite often. There's Braca again, the triples and the triple bomb again. Temporal investigations. Classic Type 2 phaser. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to. Radiant Goose asked me to message her.
This was one of the cards that I had a hard time tracking down, actually. Here's the captain of the Packleds. We are Packleds. Our ship is Mondor. We look for things. We want to be nothing if not persistent. I remember there was a game or something that they got a lot of the Star Trek actors to come and do clips for, and there's one where Gowron is talking to the Packleds and convincing them to cooperate. It's rather amusing. I wouldn't do it justice if I tried to imitate it. But Big Star Officer, Greed Anthropology, download We Look for Things, and once per game may capture one engineer here. I'm going to put a sleeve on that one. There's Donato again, our geology expert. And we look for things. That's convenient to come in the same pack. Come on, Uhura and the Centurion. Those are the two I'm still hoping for. Where are we? Janek. Brunt's shuttle. Yeah, unique Ferengi shuttle. This is, I think, one of the, we haven't actually run into many rare Tribble cards, which we probably will now that I mentioned it. But Brunt's shuttle is probably one of the less exciting rares when you exclude those.
my god. Oh, I'm so sorry. So tired.
Oh, no worries. Tribble of the Way Home. Organian Peace Treaty. Temporal Investigations. Dunderdag? Yeah. He's the Paklid security person.
Didn't you already find that one?
He's a common. I don't remember. I might have. And Lumba. In a ploy to convince Nilva to support Grand Nagazek's reinstatement, Quark was altered to appear female.
I thought that looked like Quark. I'm like, is that the same actor that plays Quark?
Acquisition, biology, download Nilva, doubles first listed skill on each non-unique Ferengi male present. May nullify gender-related dilemmas where present.
Oh. Quark is awesome.
Then we've got Jem from the original series. Female Miniran empath. Tested by the Vinians as a representative of her planet. Saved Dr. McCoy. Her willingness to sacrifice her own life saved her people. Empathy ×2. And honor. And again, good integrity. This one could be handy just as a double empathy non-aligned character. So, and then we've got, okay, here we go. This is one of those 1,000 Tribble cards I mentioned before that's marked as a rare. So technically this was a double rare pack if you count it as such, although it's on the uncommon sheet and in the uncommon slot. 1,000 Tribbles. Breeds from 100 Tribbles. Each personnel present loses their first listed skill. Prevents Ooby-Dooby card draws at this location. Makes it hard to dance with 1,000 Tribbles in the room. And then Thopok. Small star security. Can download Batholith biology transporter skill. I think we've seen him before. Back around Premiere, or shortly after, they made a 2-player starter deck, which came with a version of Spock in it as well. But that was again based on the version that showed up in the Next Generation. So, the Spock in this set isn't the first Spock to be printed either. And again, in that package, they also made an Admiral McCoy, so that was also the first McCoy. So, excuse me, a lot of those were second versions. Chain reaction ricochet. Alright, so that's a pretty niche card again.
Who's your favorite Star Trek
Jim, Regerod, and there's Lieutenant Watley, who was so entrancing to Bashir. Sorry, what was that?
Who's your favorite Star Trek villain?
Star Trek villain.
It can be movies or TV show.
Oh boy. There's been some good ones over the years. Ooh. Favorite. The Borg were sure intimidating, and there have been some great individuals amongst the Klingons when they were being problematic. I would venture to say... Oh, man. See, there's so many that are sort of antagonists, but aren't really villains. It's hard to really define. But yeah, I would say the early Borg were certainly intriguing in their way and also very intimidating.
I thought you were going to say Khan.
Well, I like Khan as a villain, but I liked him better actually in the original series episode. In the movie, I find he's a little bit too one note. Oh, here's our first double rare, unfortunately.
Ryan says Locutus of Borg.
Locutus of Borg, yeah. Well, he was very short-lived, but... Ooh, that's interesting.
He's still a villain.
He is. There's a Cardassian freighter. Home front again. And we have... our First Minister Shakar referred to the First Minister's as his entire senior staff used to tend to the gardens outside the Chamber of Ministers. So, small star civilian anthropology, transporter skill biology, download First Minister Shakar, or senior staff meeting.
So he would be more of an antagonist than a villain.
I would say so.
So he's probably my favorite antagonist.
Yeah, he's a great character to interact with.
Yeah.
But again, the whole superpower thing is hard to really write around, I find. So some of the episodes sort of struggled from that.
Yeah.
One triple. Ooh, there's the Centurion. Glad to see him.
You want that one?
Yep. Big star science, exobiology, stellar cartography, honor. A couple of useful skills. Other Romulans at this location are attributes all +1. So great buff to your other Romulans. Senior advisor and science officer aboard the Galgathon during the 2266 neutral zone incursion cautioned Karas to proceed carefully against Starship Enterprise. So of the ones I was looking for, so far, Uhura is the only one that hasn't showed
Hello,
up
Lost
yet.
Tarot Games. Welcome in.
Here's classic tricorder. We looked at the medical tricorder. Your classic personnel present who have engineer or science classification, add engineer or science or geology or physics. May reselect each turn.
Founder said that's a great card. I'm assuming that she meant the
Centurion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
These bring back memories
And I'm
of
glad
Lost Tarot Games.
I'm glad I'm going to be able to have one for my Romulan deck without having to pull it out of my set now. So that's
Nice.
very happy with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good memories going through these for sure.
Green weapons, assign.
Founder says I'm getting a box.
Well, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have great pulls.
Let us know how that goes.
10,000 tribbles is our rare. We finally got a rare slot eaten by tribbles. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
So is this a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a thematic thing. Eventually, I'm going to need more of these if I try and build an actual tribble deck for the game, like the other game tribbles.
Maybe I'll get two, says Founder.
Breeds from 1,000 tribbles where present. Mission attempts require 2 exobiology. Cancels probing on non-dilemma cards at and Borg cards targeting this location. Okay. Oh, and 1,000 tribbles. So yeah. And 10 tribbles. Tribbles everywhere.
Go for it, SR. I wish I'd never sold mine.
This was honestly the most fun I had completing a set last year. Was working on this tribbles one. After that, it inspired me to continue, and I went on and did the mirror set as well. They're both good. But those ultra rares can be a pain to track down. We got very lucky with our boxes last year with Dr. McCoy, and even with the ultra rare and mirror is the bearded Spock with his goatee.
Okay.
So you did well with that as well. HQ Orbital Weapons Platform.
Yeah, but I mean, these ones aren't too expensive, are they? These cards.
These boxes at Hills, I think they have them priced at $35 US usually, unless they go on sale. Usually the sales aren't so great.
Yeah, not too bad.
Last time I saw one of them go on sale, it went down to 32 from 35, so it wasn't a big savings anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a 30-pack box, which I think these are 30-pack boxes, it's a little over $1 a pack. Of course, you got to deal with shipping and stuff too, but they're fairly economical. And like I say, the game was well designed. The cards look nice. A lot of people actually like to use these cards if they're going to a convention where an actor is going to be to have something for them to sign. So they're probably more popular for that actually than they are for actually playing these days.
Cheaper than Pokemon, yep.
Oh, definitely.
The
engine room. That's the other thing in this set is there's another rare Tribbles. There's Uhura, but she's drowning in Tribbles.
And cheaper than Magic the Gathering.
Oh, for sure. If the harder to find Star Trek sets can be far more expensive. But about half the sets you can still get for under the MSRP for when they first released. And the other ones have started to skyrocket and go through the roof because, they're getting very hard to find. But there's still a good amount available at a very reasonable price these days, if you know where to look. There's Mr. Spock.
There we go.
So now we're up to 5 out of the 7 that we've pulled.
I only want the OG set, says Founder, and Ryan says Voyager's expensive.
Oh, Voyager is getting up there for expensive. It's still about the same, actually, as it was when it first released, whereas the other ones are less. But,
there's my fave Spock, says Founder. Michelle, are you still here? There's Spock.
Yeah, Big Star Science, double science, actually. And then computer skill, exobiology, music, officer, mind meld ×2, can download Vulcan nerve pinch, and if with Captain Kirk, both are all attributes +2. And good, solid stats to begin with as well. Integrity 8, cunning 10, strength 9. Very strong card. When this set first came out, I was in the middle of university. I basically missed it. But I knew that the Kirk existed because of that preview card I'd seen in Scram magazine or things.
Amazing card.
I actually went and got a Kirk and Spock from eBay or something back at the time, just so I'd have them. But yeah, definitely a very great card.
Broly says Spock. Hey Broly, how are you doing?
Yeah. Spock on Spocat. There we go.
Yeah.
So we'll go through and review those Bridge Crew here in a minute because we're down to our last 2 packs. And they're the 2 we haven't opened yet. We didn't open Dr. McCoy.
How are you and the fam? We are tired. Most of the kids should be sleeping. Yeah. I'm tired. Took a while to fall asleep last night. Then got up early. I'm glad you're good, Broly.
Personnel, Chula, security, fog. And there's Keras. So there's the commander of the Romulan ship. So we got all 3 of the big Romulan cards.
So that's the actor that plays Spock's dad?
Yeah, that's the same one who plays Sarek, the same actor.
Okay.
They used in this episode. I think actually this came first. He played this role before he played Sarek, I believe. Expert strategist. Followed orders despite misgivings about provoking another war with the Federation. In a different reality, he could have called Kirk a friend. Leadership ×2, astrophysics, geology, honor, engage cloak, download, and also download auto-destruct sequence. Definitely a nice one to have. Brand turmeric. So, yeah, we got all three of the Balance of Terror Romulans, who are like the rares. His ship, himself, and the Centurion, so that's pretty good. This box has been alright. And one thing about the values of the cards in this set, they're pretty comparable to the Premier, which is a bigger set and harder to get the Bridge Crew. So a lot of the, like Kirk and Spock, are probably worth about $5. And then the other ones, the price goes down a little bit with rank as usual. But the McCoy, I think, is up near $70 if you pull the ultra rare McCoy. It's really something.
Ryan found a emoji that does the Spock symbol and he put it up.
Nice. Ooh, this is the only three affiliation personnel that I know of. Oh no, wait. There's another one that's like Federation Romulan and non-align or something. But this one's Bajoran, Cardassian, and Federation Kira. This was another card that I had a hard time finding to complete the set. Just my luck with not being able to pull it very easily. Ironically, Kira Nerys trained Legat Damar's freedom fighters fighters in resistance tactics. The Bajoran accepted a Starfleet commission to help ease the racial tensions. So, Big Star officer, leadership, resistance, security, navigation, honor ×2, and X equals 3 versus Dominion. So, against the Dominion, a little bit more strength. Very nice card. Oh, Q-type android. The Q icon cards are a little bit difficult to use, but...
Oh, cool.
Think fast, Commander Riker.
I remember the scene.
Yeah. Lieutenant Nagata. Again, he's another one of the... Oh, we already talked about him. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, put a sleeve on Kira as well.
So, Founder is getting hooked up, possibly, for finding some Star Trek cards.
So let's try and organize some of these rares a little.
Every time I see people going to that place, they have the selection that it shows pretty impressive. There's like a big place called Frankenson's. It's like a big vendors for different card games and stuff like that. A lot of Pokemon.
Frankensons?
Yeah, down in where are they? I'm sorry, I don't remember where they are. Anyways.
I guess we got the
It's
graph,
like a
but we didn't get the
building. They have a lot of vendors. I see a lot of YouTubers go in there and make
I
videos.
didn't get this right.
It's a vendor swap meet. That's what it is. Anyways, Founder's helping me explain because I'm too tired.
Okay.
They have a lot of neat stuff there too. I wish we had something like that up here. I mean, I guess that's probably what the well, they got something like it, but not something that frequently. I guess it's like the conventions and stuff like that is when they get the vendors all out.
All right. So we got Kirk, Scotty, Sulu, the Starship Enterprise, Chekhov, and Spock. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. This is stuff
the
that people
original
find
crew.
there. I'm really impressed what people find there.
And then we got the 3 Romulans, the Galgathon with Keras, and the Centurion. For Deep Space Nine main people, we got Dax, the Quark in funny dress, O'Brien, Bashir, and Kira. Yeah, while I'm at it, I should have done this earlier.
What am I looking for?
This is the Benjamin Sisko card that comes in the starter deck. So, small star officer, leadership, engineer, diplomacy, navigation may report where Captain Kirk is present for free. Benjamin Sisko proposed as a 23rd century Starfleet lieutenant to thwart Barry Waddle's plot to kill Captain Kirk. Couldn't resist talking to the legendary captain. And I alluded to what Captain Koloth did, but here's the card. It comes in the Klingon starter deck. Big Star Officer, Diplomacy, Anthropology, and Science. If on IKC Groth, it is all attributes +1 for each Klingon classical series personnel present aboard, up to +3. So, yeah. Very nice. Additions.
Do you have some booster boxes that you haven't opened anything of yet?
For
Star Trek?
For Star Trek, yes.
That you want to open, or you just haven't got around to it?
Yeah, well...
Or you want to keep it sealed?
That Voyager box.
Oh, okay.
I have never opened Voyager yet, and I do have that box sitting there, which I probably will open, and I might as well open it on stream if I'm going to open it at all.
Which box was it that the kids ripped?
They ripped the wrapper on the Mirror box.
Oh, the one you're going to open anyways?
Well, no, actually, that was not one of the ones. When I initially planned doing some Star Trek boxes, I decided to go with the ones I thought would be the best value, easiest to get for people.
Yeah.
And so I went with Premiere because it's the cheapest, and it's got the Star Trek: The Next Generation Bridge Crew. Alternate Universe because it's the first set with an ultra rare, still fairly cheap and easy to get, even though most of the rares aren't worth that much. And then the fifth one, well, it doesn't really fit in the mold so much, but I put in Rules of Acquisition just because I'd never opened it before. So that was a first time open for me with the Ferengi. And I enjoyed that very much. And then this one, which I think is a great value. It's got, like I said, a lot of cards that are still worth a few bucks, and the ultra rare, if you hit it, is definitely worth your time. Probably worth about 2 boxes in itself. And then the other one I was going to open was the Borg, just because the Borg are classic villains. Again, it's got ultra rare. It's also got some of those dual affiliation people where the cards are worth some money too. So that was the 5 boxes I planned to open on stream. But I also had a box of Mirror, which I could have added in if people were interested, and still can. And the box of Voyager, which I've never opened and would like to open one day. So I could increase that from 5 to 7 and do those 2 as well.
Yeah.
If people are interested again, but... So far, there seems to be some interest in Star Trek anyway.
Yeah.
More than Monty Python anyway.
Yeah.
If anyone saw the poll we put up.
I took it down after we had enough votes.
Okay.
So there's no point leaving it up.
Like I say, some of these personnel I'm already pretty well stocked on. So we could do a giveaway with some of them if people are interested.
Powder says, mirror, please.
Should I do Mirror next just because it's... fits the theme with this one?
Yeah, we could always hold off
on the Borg and Voyager because they kind of go together anyway.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Even the Monty Python. You could just do the Monty Python thing as a video. It doesn't even have to be a live stream.
Oh, that's true too. But yeah.
Oh yes, please give away Founders like already. I'm sure we can do a giveaway. What do you want to do for a giveaway?
Well, like I said, I want to keep these ones for a deck I'm thinking of. Could always use more Scotty, but I could throw in this version of Scotty easily enough too if people wanted that. But
you sold me on this set, says Founder.
But yeah, I've got a couple extra versions of Kirk, Spock, and Sulu, so I could easily do those.
Mirror's a fun set, says Ryan.
In terms of Deep Space Nine personnel. I'd probably want to keep Kira, but I could do Bashir, O'Brien, and Dax, or something like that.
You can do one giveaway or a couple. There's like 6 people here right now. Some people are probably lurking because a lot of people lurk, and that's okay.
Try and see. Are there any downloads on these? Kirk downloads Captain's Log. That's in Alternate Universe, which I opened on our anniversary stream. Vulcan Nerve Pinch. Is that in this set? I forget. No. Where was it? It was Live Long and Prosper. There was some Vulcan interrupt. Let's see if I can find it.
We've got 10 likes on the stream, so that's nice. Thank you, everybody.
Come on. Saw some Vulcan somewhere. Or was it in the comments pile? They're slipping out on me.
Oh, the problem doing the giveaway, I'm going to have to go between the, whatchamacallit, the Nightbot and this, because I can't see the chat on the phone. I wonder, let me see, what if I click on that?
I guess I could include a Lieutenant Grant as well. With
I
the originals.
fixed it! Somehow it got switched to just top messages, and now it has all messages, so you're good now.
Oh, okay.
Woohoo, yay!
That's handy.
I fixed it.
Oop, where are we?
Trying to pick what else you can give away for giveaway.
Well, I'm trying to see the cards that they download. Where I saw Vulcan something multiple times as we were opening packs, and now I can't find one. It's annoying.
Or you could just
Anyway,
add
I could find a Captain's Log, I'm sure, out of the other bin to go with Kirk.
Yeah.
What do these people download? Classic Tricorder, Classic Communicator, Classic Medical Tricorder. Classic Tricorder.
Just stick around if you want it on the giveaway.
Classic Medical Tricorder. Classic Tricorder. And why not? Where's... We can throw in a Constitution, Starship Constitution with Kirk and Spock and Grant. So we'll do one giveaway with Kirk, Spock, Sulu, Grant, and a Constitution. And I'll throw in a Captain's Log if I remember to dig that out as well. And we'll do a second one with Dax, Bashir, O'Brien, and the equipments that they can download.
And then you just, the first person can pick which one they want, and then...
I suppose. And then the second person can pick...
Alright, we'll get Nightbot open.
Which one they prefer.
I'll get Nightbot open. This is your giveaway. What do we want to have as a giveaway? Are the keywords?
Keyword. Tribbles.
That's a good one. I won't even do exclamation mark right now with that. Tribbles. Alright, it's up. Now. Just wait for people to get in, so just Tribbles. No, not even a hashtag, just Tribbles. TRIBBLES. I didn't put a hashtag. Do I need to put a hashtag for Nightbot?
I'll throw in the common Scotty with these guys too, just because.
There we go. Founder's in.
Founder's in. Is Founder our only...
So far, it's just Founder. Who else wants in?
Anybody else interested in some Star Trek cards? I like the Romulans in this. In the Mirror set, they have a generic D7, which was used by both Klingons and the Romulans. So again, it's split affiliation as well, which is nice. they have a lot more dilemmas in that set that are based from a bunch of different classic episodes. Where I said this set here, the Tribble set, is based mostly on the Trouble with Tribbles episode, and
I want that Spock, says Founder.
and a little bit of the Balance of Terror episode.
The neighbor's dog is being really annoying right now.
But Mirror Mirror includes
Oh,
the
there's Ryan.
Mirror Universe episode as well as more other episodes. Like it's got a dilemma from the Gorn and with the Horta and a lot of the what are they called? Those flying alien parasite things, brain cells from Operation Annihilate or whatever it's called.
All right, well, if you want in on the giveaway, you want to show it off again, and then we'll pick. If nobody else gets in, then we'll just see who gets first pick.
Okay, so we got two batches. I'm going to fish out a captain's log that he downloads to go with it. And it's Kirk, Spock, Sulu, a Scotty from Alternate Universe, the Starship Constitution, and Lieutenant Grant. Will be one batch for the giveaway. So that's the original series batch. Then we've got the Deep Space Nine batch with Lieutenant Dax, Ensign O'Brien, Lieutenant Bashir, and the equipment that they download. So the classic and medical tricorders and the classic communicator.
All right, so we only have 2 people in. So first person that gets it gets first pick. And then whoever's left, since nobody else is in, will get what's left. So
If they want it.
Yeah. So let's see who's going to get it. Good luck. And the winner who gets to choose is Ryan. Oh, Ryan, are you going to steal the Spock from Founder?
So, Ryan, would you like the Deep Space Nine characters or the original series characters? Founder says, I hope you didn't ship me yet. I don't think we
No,
did.
not yet. No, I haven't been able to get to the shipping yet. So we can easily add your winning. And I don't know, Ryan, did you ever figure out how to email us? Just do ! email and then yeah, you can get us your info that way.
So, Ryan, are you there?
Well, Ryan, Deep Space Nine.
You want the Deep Space Nine one? All right.
So nice. Founder's very happy right now.
So, there's the, I'll put some sleeves on the rares at least.
So congratulations, Ryan and Founder, for your winnings. I should probably find some marker. Oh my goodness.
And I'll put the 3 equipment in one
There's
sleeve.
the base bags we can put in.
So I put the 3 equipment in one sleeve there, and then those 3 Deep Space Nine characters. And then I guess Founder, you win the other one, so you get the original characters here, and I'll dig up a captain's log to put that.
Alright, so get back over this one.
But yeah, honestly, Kirk and Spock, these were the first 2 cards I ever got from this set, and I went and purposefully sought out the singles. They're a lot of fun. Spock is a skill monster, and Kirk has just got those unique abilities.
Every time I do, you get an error. When you try and email me, I know the one time somebody put down, they forgot the S for our email. Just, spocatfamily@gmail.com is our email address. Or if you !Discord, and you can get contact me through the Discord. I'm Mama Spocat on the Discord. If it's easier to find me there.
Let's just shift this stuff out of the way for now.
Because I know
what else I wanted to.
when Radiant Goose tried helping with the email, she forgot the S at the beginning of her email address.
Each of those starter decks comes with a little rule book too, if you ever find them. It just explains the basics of the rules, how to set up a space line, how to play, how the basic rules of combat work. There's even deck lists. You can see which set each of the cards in the deck.
You're welcome, Founder.
Decks come with, and everything.
Does it come in a booster box? Does what come in a booster box?
The starter decks are pre-constructed. You have to basically get them separately. You can go buy a box of them, but then you get 6 of each, so it's a little bit overkill. If you're looking for just one of each, place like again Category 1 Games I think has them. It would be cheaper to just buy one of each than to buy a whole box.
I may not play the game, but I like the mini rule books. Do you have any extra mini rule books?
I might somewhere. I don't know. I'd have to check.
If we find a mini rule book, we'll let you know. An extra one, I mean.
But yeah, I had fun looking through the cards in the starter decks, trying to find which ones had tribbles added to the art and which ones didn't. So there's that as well.
Right, so have you decided what you're doing Monday? If you're streaming yet?
No, I can't say that I've decided definitively. If I can get a little bit of sleep in the afternoon, then I might feel like tackling Onslaught. But Onslaught is a big set and would take a lot of time, and I have to work the next day. That's the problem. Otherwise, I might do something like Tribbles or the Time Spiral Precons, or maybe Dual Decks or something.
Tribbles?
Pardon?
Tribbles? For Magic?
Sorry, did I say Tribbles? I meant Slivers.
Yeah.
It's another mass hive type thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright, so I got these all ready to go.
But yeah, here's, I guess, a little preview just from Mirror Mirror. Here's the dilemmas. There were a lot of decent dilemmas in it. From that episode, there's the episode from the Horta, the Gorns, the flying alien parasites. There's another classic one. There's the Tantalus Field. And then on the back, you've got Kelvin Show of Force, the Guardian of Forever. Lots of great original series stuff in Mirror Mirror as well.
I get my boxes, Founder. I missed that message.
And then I'll just show the mirror version, which is the ultra rare in Mirror Mirror, is First Officer Spock from the Mirror Universe with his little goatee. I think that's a fun card. Well, I shouldn't say a fun card. It's actually, the mirror cards are actually rather awkward to use, but it's a great looking card. So I'll give it that.
I want to go watch the movies. I like the original Star Trek
And
movies.
then somewhere over here, I thought I put, yeah, this was the only card I have from a different set. This is from Holodeck Adventures that references the original series, and that's the Telosian Cage.
That'd be fun to open.
Just an uncommon.
I like the holodeck stuff. I can't wait to buy some boxes. Thank you for introducing me to them. Says Founder. You're welcome.
Yeah, I used to have fun playing this game. Like I said, when I first got my start with this game, even, it was one of the cheaper ones because I was able to build decks right out of the common bin at my local game store, and you can build a functional deck that way. If you wanted to.
There we go.
Flip that. So, yeah, it's something that I always enjoyed doing. even if the decks aren't that high powered, it doesn't really matter. If you're both doing it with somebody else to just have fun with.
Or just to collect, even.
Exactly.
That's all good.
And there's ways to speed up the game. If you want to be real tactical, you can plan.
Nifty shirt, says Founder.
Thank you. We picked this up at our visit to Vulcan at the end of the summer there when we were on our way back. So.
We've been to Vulcan.
Yeah, that was fun. So.
It's a nice little town, actually. We drove around a little bit. It's.
Yeah.
I should post some pictures. You know what? Keep an eye out. I'll post some of the pictures that we took of the murals and stuff like that in the comment section.
They've got some nice murals around town there. They've got a big model of a Constitution class starship out as you come into town. They've got a little museum there with a holodeck section with costumes and other merchandise and memorabilia you can look at in their museum. And they've got a bust of Spock with Leonard Nimoy's handprint.
We should have got out to take pictures.
Maybe. And then there's some other, the crosswalks are Star Trek themed like that. On one of the buildings, there's a big mural of the 5 Doctors, one from each of the 5 first show series. So you got McCoy, Beverly Crusher, Julian Bashir, the Doctor from Voyager, the hologram guy, and Phlox, I think, from Enterprise.
Well, feel free to come and share your binder on Discord there.
Well, if any of you feel like opening things, I'd love to see what you get.
Or if you do, or if any videos.
Like I said, I've got a couple more boxes I plan on opening, so we'll probably do all 3 of those. We'll probably do Mirror next, and then look at Voyager and the Borg sometime after. Maybe I'll save Voyager for the finale, just because I've never opened it, and it is a little bit more expensive.
How much is the holodeck Adventures box?
Oh,
that one's a lot.
Yeah, that one's getting up there for price.
Oh,
so
because that one would be fun.
It could be.
That was my favorite thing about Star Trek was the holodeck stuff. Because just the imagination and when we used to play growing up, we used to just pretend we were on the holodeck and then we could imagine what we were doing on the holodeck.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part.
But I've got some other non-Star Trek stuff. I've still got that second box of Fellowship of the Ring that I want to do eventually too, and I'd like to do the Monty Python. We've even got a bunch of Harry Potter stuff that we'll probably save that until after we're done the Star Trek. Get the Star Trek done first before we get into Harry Potter. But I've definitely got some stuff lined up for variety that's not just Pokemon and Magic. So games I remember from my youth in part, and some games that I've discovered more recently, but older stuff here. Yeah.
Harry Potter nerd here. we're just ticking off all the boxes for Founder.
That's good. It's nice when other people are also like the subject matter. So
yeah. Pull up the My Little Pony that we were sitting on. I can't believe how expensive the My Little Pony cards are starting to get.
Anything tends to go up over time. So.
What else do we have? I don't even know.
Well, I think that's mainly what I wanted to touch and go through tonight anyway. But I would say I was overall pleased with that box. We didn't get the ultra rare, but I wasn't really expecting it. I had, unreasonably good luck last year with those. And of the 4 rares that I wanted to get for decks, I pulled 3 of the 4. So that's good.
That seems like a decent box there.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah. You can pop in.
Shift in, say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well for that one.
I could sleep.
And like I say, honestly, Trouble with Tribbles is one of my favorite sets. They started to ramp up the power level a little bit, but they also printed heavily because they knew it was going to be popular, and so it's still one of the easier sets to find and get that's not too expensive. And so that's something I appreciate, on top of the fact that it's original series. Growing up, I watched mainly original series and Next Generation. When Deep Space Nine and the others came out, I did watch them a little bit, but I didn't stick with them as much. And while I probably watched more Next Generation, I appreciated the original series more just because it was harder to find. Like I taped a best like top 10 episodes type thing, and so maybe I was skewed because I watched the better episodes more often because of stuff like that. But um, I did really like the original series, and it's been again just the fact that they finally got that into the card game, which I was already playing at the time, um, is something a little special to me in that regard. So
I like that it just cost me an arm and a leg for those Sam's Club Crown Zenith boxes. Oh, you got some of those, eh? I saw those and they look fun. Oh man, it'd be fun to get a hold of those and open some.
Excuse me.
Actually, I think it could be fun for like our anniversary stream is if we open a little bit of like some of our favorite sets from Pokemon, and maybe even some stuff that you like that's not Pokemon.
Maybe
because we started collecting Pokemon with Crown Zenith, so it could be fun to open a little bit of that. Do some like a little bit of 151 and Paul Dan Fates. So those are probably my 3 top sets that I've enjoyed since we started collecting.
Could be.
Yeah, 14 packs for $40. I couldn't pass them up, not with an employee discount. No, I bet.
Yeah,
that's
sounds
pretty good. Yeah, I know there's an exchange, like the exchange rate's a little bit different because
yeah.
I wish I could find some stuff for $40 Canadian. What's that, like an extra $15-20 or what is it for the exchange? I don't even know. It's a lot.
If it's $40 US, it'd probably be about 55 Canadian at least.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, we find good deals occasionally on some things.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to hunt around and find deals.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's we're in Alberta, so central Alberta. Yeah. I'm so tired. It's Sunday tomorrow.
It is.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need sleep. So I guess we'll probably
I'll get sleep. So we should wrap this up for now. But thanks for joining us.
Yep.
I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit of a trip down memory lane for me. Both recently, because like I said, I was doing a lot of this set last year.
I'm tired too, but I'm super hyped now.
and also thinking back to when I used to get to play and explore this game more as a game, which is fun as well. Maybe one of these days I'll do a live stream playing against Thomas or something again, and
yeah,
that can be fun too.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We do appreciate you. Sleep.
Yeah.
So
thanks for joining us. Those who won some cards, I hope you enjoy them. We'll try and get them mailed out.
Yeah, soon.
Not too distant future here.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of things we were juggling.
Yeah.
Anyway, live long and prosper. And
I can do it too. Wait, I can do it. I can do it. See?
Kapla in all your efforts. Success. I'm trying to think what other phrases I know.
I don't know.
Anyhow.
All right. So have a great night, or morning, or evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Come check us out Monday night. If you want to watch us or watch him do Monday Night Magic.
Yeah.
So I'll be kind of off to the side doing my thing.
I'm probably going to have to think of something a little shorter for next Saturday for this stream because I'm going to be in the middle of working days. So.
Well, I guess I don't know. We'll see. You could do the binder of the Monty Python if you wanted.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Anyway. All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
We'll catch you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.